All right, this is gonna be a fun video for you guys because I'm going to go over 10 ways to be turning a girl on. And here's the thing, the 10th one, the one at the very end, I can pretty much guarantee that you've never heard before or nobody's really talking about. So let's get right into it. Now, I'm gonna do away with the whole confidence one because I think we all kind of know that. So let's just like, tuck that aside. Let's get into some of the different ones. Number one on my list of the 10 ways is ambition. Now, when I got into this and studying it, I thought you had to have this ultimate identity. You had to be successful, you had to have all your stuff together, and that can be kind of disheartening for a lot of guys out there who are either just grinding, all my entrepreneurs, business owners, yeah, you might be making a lot of money coming in and you might be, doing well, but we all kind of know the lifestyle is just work, right? So it's hard to telegraph to a girl how great your life is if you feel there's all this other stuff going on. Here's a way around that. It's just called ambition. When a girl wants to invest in you, she doesn't necessarily care too much where you are now. What she really cares about is where you're going. If you can let her know your life path, if you can let her know that you're somebody on a mission and you're taking off and you're going places, she's going to be all about you. She's going to be deeply turned on. The second one is remembering. I know what you're thinking, like remembering, what the hell am I talking about? I don't even remember what that means about. So remembering essentially just means listening to a girl, and when things come up later on, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, you're talking to her again, you remember what she said back then. Most guys tune women out. Most guys are so bent on impressing a girl themselves that they don't actually listen to the girl when she's talking. So when a guy actually does listen and repeats back the information that he heard from her, and she goes, oh my God, you remembered? They are so ironically, that's one of the most impressive things you can do. It's got, for me, I'm gonna tell you one of my little tricks. If I really like a girl and she says something about herself that's important, maybe like her favorite number is 27, her favorite flower is lilies, whatever, like little tidbit facts about her, I will take my phone out and I will write it down just so I don't forget and just so I can bring it up weeks later. And she will just be amazed. So if you really like a girl and you want to use this technique to the fullest, write down the stuff she tells you when you hear it to ensure that you don't forget. Number 3, this is pretty much a common one, but we have to address it. Funny. We've got to be funny. And look, it's okay if you're not that funny, if you're not that, that guy who always has a joke, then what I want you to do is I want you to study humor patterns. Here's how to develop your wit, your humor, okay? 1, talk to girl after girl after girl as much as possible. 2, be around funny people. I promise you, it rubs off. When you do full immersion and you're just around people who are cracking jokes a lot, you start developing like a sixth sense for how to do it. And 3, go out of your way to put yourself out there and make those jokes. Be silly, be a little goofy, but don't just do it in a general sense. Pick a humor pattern. Maybe it's sarcasm, maybe it's exaggeration, maybe it's role playing, maybe it's teasing, whatever it is, pick one and really focus on that and mastering that and getting good at that type of humor, and then move on to the next. I promise you can develop it and become a really funny guy. Number 4 is conspiracy. Now, obviously, what the hell am I talking about? What conspiracy? Women get turned on when they feel they're in the know about something secret. I love when I'm in a public setting, I'm with my girl, or I'm on a date or a group date or whatever, and I'm whispering in her ear, like little flirty things. It just adds a much bigger element, a much more arousing element when there's a little conspiracy, something that only you and her know, inside jokes, stuff like that, because it bonds her so much more to you, because everyone else, they're not in the know. They're not in the conspiracy, all right? The more you can add little secrets, little inside jokes, or maybe you're just telling her those little naughty things you might do to her later, depending on where you are in the interaction, it's such a bigger turn on, okay? And if you can't whisper, if you can't talk to her, texting. There have been plenty of times where I'm out with my friends or in a social circle setting, and I'm texting a girl, like little flirtatious stuff, when she might be sitting across from me or whatever, and we have this like, we're in the know, everybody else, they're out of it. Number 5 is dominance. And this is kind of misunderstood. When I say dominance, what I don't mean is like this whole caveman stuff, like, you know, grab her, come over here, I'm you know, man to woman, you know, all that stuff. That's not what I mean, all right? When I'm talking about dominance, I mean the subtle dominance. I mean like when you're sitting next to a girl on a couch, you take her legs and pick it up and put it right on your lap, all right? You're not like, oh, how do I make a move? How do I, you know, slowly, gently try to do stuff? Nah, real dominance means I wanna do this, I'm gonna go do it, I don't care, right? It's being very sure of any move that you make. When I first tried to escalate with girls, like physically escalate, it was creepy, man. It was cringe. I'd be that guy that would have my hand on her shoulder and would like slowly, like very, very slowly try to go for a boob grab or something. Like, it was awful, okay? I cringed thinking back to it. Real dominance just means, look, I feel like kissing you, I'm gonna go in for the kiss, all right? I wanna cut, I've been on, you know, dates with a girl where I sit down and the girl sits, you know, a little too far from me, where you got that like, that space of doom going on there. I'll just go, no, come on, get over here. It's cuddle time. Like, you can just be that direct and say it, and now the rest of the night, you guys are cuddling up. It makes it so much better, and it is sexy. It's a turn on when a guy can take charge like that and be dominant without being overbearing. Number 6 is behind the neck. This is my favorite spot on a girl's body. Well, top 5 at least. Okay. Right? Because nothing turns a girl on more than little kisses or slight kissing right here behind the neck, okay? Guys are trying to go for become the cheesy make-out guy. Guys are trying to like grab a lot of stuff. When you're escalating and trying to turn a girl on, it's about turning her on, not about you. And the easiest and one of the sweetest ways of doing it is just being the guy that, like, you know, comes up behind her, wraps your arms around her, and gives her a kiss on the neck. No, this is not an approach. I don't mean when you first go talk to her, but when you're on a date, when you're out with her, when you're trying to get things more flirty and a little bit more physical. More than anything that I've seen to get a girl's, you know, really getting her turned on the mood in a physical, visceral way, start kissing right here. Make this your new favorite sweet spot. Number 7 is feats of strength. And look, no, you don't need to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't need to be some crazy bodybuilder, you know, whatever. When I say feats of strength, I mean just like what you can do as a guy. Lifting her up. When I hug a girl and you pick her up a bit, you get that giggle, you get that little bit of a thrill. If you don't have the comfort though, that can really backfire, obviously. Again, you wanna make sure you have that rapport, you have that kind of relationship first, but every time you do it, you'll get that little squeal. If it's really on, if it's going into the bedroom and you wanna amp up her attraction, you wanna amp up that arousal to an insane degree, here's what you do. Grab her butt, pick her up, wrap her legs around you, and instead of trying to like just hold her, because who knows, like even strong guys can like start shaking, push her up against a wall, all right? Women, like every time I've done that maneuver where I'm holding a girl, her legs are wrapped around my waist and her back's against a wall, and it's just that feeling of being lifted up in the air. It's, every girl is described to me as one of the biggest turn on. They will blush, they will get flushed, their chest gets red. They absolutely love it, all right? It's a very masculine, powerful, primal attraction trigger that you can do in that moment. Number 8 is also a pretty primal trigger, and that is the hair grab, all right? It's another incredibly arousing thing to do with a girl. Now, when we're talking, I say hair grab, by the way, not hair pull. Everybody talks about hair pulling, and that can really lead you astray. If you're just pulling girls' hair, like, you know, like a pulling gesture, it can hurt, it doesn't feel good. It's like, what are you doing? It's, you know, there's a lot that goes in with that. When I say grab, I mean grab. You're taking the girl's hair and you're like squeezing like that. You're squeezing the hair, all right? You'll see them, shoot their chest forward, arch their neck, bite their lip. Like, you will see, again, a very primal reaction to this that goes into all types of evolutionary psychology, which I'm not gonna get to on this video, but let's just say at the end of the day, it feels really good, and when done right, it turns women on to an insane degree. Number 9 is fashion. Let's be real. When a girl sees you, the cookie cutter cut of what you look like, they're not as visual as men. Granted, men are way more visual, but women still want a guy that looks pretty damn good. That means the grooming, that means the fashion. I don't know any girl that's not kind of slightly turned on by a guy in a suit. If there is any event where you can be dressed up in a nice suit with a tie, the whole thing, and it's just standard, it's a suit. You don't have to do anything too crazy. You just have to make sure it fits right. But anytime you can go to an event where you can wear a suit, wear the suit, okay? There's, again, something triggered in every girl where when they see that, they absolutely get turned on.
I have to leave immediately.
Oh, that's too bad. Just as things were getting interesting again.
And number 10, I promise you this would be a doozy. I said this would be something that's a little bit outside the box, outside the norm, and here it is. Fear. I know, sounds ridiculous, right? Why would fear do turn on? Well, when we get fearful of something to a small degree, the adrenaline starts pumping through our veins, our adrenaline starts running through us, and we actually get slightly aroused. It's not just women, this is men too. So do I mean fear like make her fear for her life or anything like that? Absolutely not. When I say fear, I'm talking about take her to a haunted house, around Halloween time. All right, I'm talking about maybe doing something active like skydiving or zip lining, or look, maybe something simple. You just watch a scary movie, all right? Those small little spikes will actually start getting her turned on. This is why when we see those classic movies where the guy and the girl watching a horror movie, the girl immediately jumps, gets scared, and buries her face into the guy, and then it just starts making out, and it starts getting gets turned on. There's a real biological primer for that. So if you go out there and you start using all of these 10 ways to turn a girl on, game over, guys. Like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna be able to get these girls begging to be around you more and more, because honestly, most guys are selfish and they're just thinking what they can get. They're just thinking about getting themselves turned on. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, that's not you. You're putting in the work and you're doing stuff for the girl's benefit so she has a great, amazing experience with you. Now look, if you want to learn more, because there's a million ways to be turning a girl on, to get her attraction for you to an insane degree. I can't cover them all here. If you want to learn more, if you're curious about really seeing how to develop attraction with more beautiful women, then you know what to do with. Here's what you do. Right in the description and the comment below, there's a link. You can book a call with me and we can talk about how to take your game and your skills and dating life to that next level, okay? But either way, if this video has helped you, if you liked what we talked about, show some love, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.